So while I've been really enjoying using the new utility kitchen that I built a few months ago for washing clothes and as a photo studio for my food blog, the most irritating thing has been having to gather a load of bits like knives, tea towels, chopping boards from my other kitchen to bring them in here. So I thought, right, let's make some dedicated for this room. So that's what this week is all about. So I'm going to show you how to make a tea towel ladder first. I think this is a great little invention if you don't want to screw things to the wall or an end panel. And I can take this into any kitchen because I've built it at a certain height. Then I'm going to focus on one of my favourite things actually, is a 4 chopping board set with spaghetti measures in each for 1, 2, 3 and 4 servings. And then a knife block. So keep on watching and I'll show you how I did them. Now, before I get started, I'd like to say a huge thanks to Wix for sponsoring these projects. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll notice I go shopping there quite a lot. And I can usually find what I'm looking for. And what's given me a lot of confidence in the last 2 years when I started doing DIY is their how-to guides either on YouTube, and sometimes I pick up the leaflets in store. And I religiously follow them to build confidence and a shopping list. Just like I did with my very first woodworking project, which was my decking video. I bought everything from Wix, and then it gave me confidence to do other things, like the time I had to buy their water-resistant floorboards because we had a leak in the conservatory. And then I was on cloud 9 when I showed you how I successfully hung their lightweight doors. And just general things like using their coving tool, fitting their kitchen carcasses in my utility, the corner trim, and even the kitchen sink.
Oh, it's icy cold! Yes! I did this!
And so what I like to do with each video is pass on a shopping list to you to save hours of time and research. So you'll find a load of links below, but I'll also leave 3 blog posts, one for each of these projects, with free cutting lists. Now the first project I wanted to do was this wooden tea towel ladder because I didn't want to screw anything to the wall or the kitchen end panels, and I think this is a great project for anyone who's renting where they can leave things as they were when they first went in. And I'm using their planed pine here, so I didn't have to do much sanding. Now yes, these days I'd normally use a chop saw for this, but it was a glorious Sunday. I could smell barbecues in the air, so I just clamped the wood to my sawhorses and cut with a handsaw. Then to cut the step sections of my ladder, I cut these to 25 centimetres, which was roughly half a tea towel folded lengthways, and I'm cutting 3 pieces of this. So I've got 2 sides and 3 steps. But for my favourite part of this design, I wanted to join them all together with 6mm dowel pieces. Obviously, my tea towels are really lightweight, so I was happy with this method, and I cut 12 of these at 50mm lengths. And because I wanted to insert them with ease, I'm just sanding any rough edges off. So I roughly got a slope that I wanted to against the wall. Then I set my sliding bevel to where it was, then flipped it over and held it against the bottom and drew a pencil line along it. And for quickness, while they were clamped, I just put a few strips of masking tape around it so I could hand saw these at the same time. So I took it back into my utility kitchen, let it rest on the worktop, and using a 1cm thick offcut, I held it flat against the wall and just drew alongside it to scribe it, and sawed and sanded that off as well. And after marking exactly where I wanted my steps to be, again you'll find the blog post below with all the exact measurements. While it was still taped together, I used a 6mm flatwood drill bit and I drilled 2 holes per step on the side pieces and went straight through. And after drilling all the holes, I clamped it all together evenly and square, and then drilled through those holes again to the step pieces. Notice I've got some more masking tape on the drill bit, so I knew when to stop. And then I dismantled and added glue in the holes, then the dowel bits, and malleted them all together before clamping and leaving overnight. And the next morning I had fun removing the excess dowels with a flush trim handsaw. And then I sanded any of the rough dowel bits that might be exposed and where all my strips joined together. but I'll show you how I treated all 3 pieces at the end because I wanted to make sure I used food grade oil, and that's something you can order through Wix, either a click and collect or a delivery service. So then I moved on to my chopping board set, but it's got a really exciting twist that I've always wanted, and that's a spaghetti measure. So I'm using Wix's timber board for this because I'm going to make a set of 4, and I roughly worked out where I wanted to cut them and put masking tape around those areas so I could see my pencil marks easier. And then drawing some straight lines, and again I'm just cutting with a handsaw, but the very bottom piece will be an offcut. And I'm aiming downwards to try and get the straightest cuts possible. Then I wanted to give curved edges to all of my boards, so I'm using my Mrs. mug, holding it against each corner and drawing around it. Then I cut the curves with a jigsaw. And to tidy up, I first went over it with a sanding block, then I thought let's just use my Orbit sander to speed things up. And now measuring the centre line of each board and another line that would be 2 inches from the top, so all of my spaghetti measures would start in the same place. And then I would lay one of the flat wood drill bits against the pencil line where the tip would be next to the centre line, and then I'd lift it up and pierce a hole. I drilled a 1 serving hole for the smallest board and so on, but to work them out I had to weigh my usual 80-gram serving and then measure the circumference to get the diameter. So to save you the hassle, I used a size 20, 28, 35 and a 38 per 1, 2, 3 and 4 servings. And to drill straight through, I've clamped it above some offcuts, drilled until the pokey bit went through, then flipped it over and matched it on the other side until my hole was done. Then using an offcut of 18mm dowel, and I wrapped it with sandpaper and sanded the inside of each hole. Then using a round router bit, I went over the edges and the holes to soften them. So before I show you how I treated those 2, let's crack on with the knife block. Now I've got loads of kitchen knives, but I only tend to reach for about 3. So again, I'm using some planed wood here from Wix. I rested my largest knife against the end, and then I added 3 centimeters at the bottom before cutting it, so I've got somewhere to glue all the pieces together. But because it's quite a thick wood to cut, I decided to use my circular saw with a track on the edge, so each cut would be identical. So I made 4 identical cuts without having to measure them each time. So I've got a strip per knife plus 1 for the end. So now I needed to work out where I wanted my knives. I wanted them as central as possible, so I've got some glue spacers at the sides, and I'm finding the centre point on the wood and a centre point on the knife. But if I did this again, I'd probably make sure the handles are in line instead. So starting with the largest one, I drew around my knife blade. It's probably a good idea to wear gloves just in case your knives are really sharp, and because my blade returned, I had to draw a filler piece there. Then I'm using a slim router bit for this, and I had to set the depth for each knife. Then I clamped it to my sawhorses, and wearing safety gear, I routed inside those pencil lines. However, as always, I did test my first cut on some offcuts before going for gold. And I'd quickly hold another piece on to see if my knife came out with ease. Oh, and it doesn't matter if you're not really tidy further down, but on the opening you do, because that's the part you're going to see. And after I'd done the routering for my 3 knives, I put a rag down and laid them on some offcuts, so I've got a flat surface to work with, and then add wood glue on the bits that haven't been routed. Now I didn't go heavy-handed with this, and I'd spread it as much as I could with my finger. And using that flat surface to my advantage and an offcut, I'm lining it all up, bearing in mind I'll be sanding any protrusions, and clamped it all together with 4 clamps and left overnight. So after releasing the clamps, I'm using my Orbit sander, and you can see I've trapped it between clamp pieces as well so it wouldn't be moving about, and I sanded every side to make them as smooth as possible. And a project would not be a carpenter's daughter project these days without a router, and I went over all of the edges with a 45-degree router bit. This just finished it off in my opinion. And once I'd got my worktop oil, I made sure all of my new kitchen accessories were dust and dirt free and applied it with a clean paintbrush. And you're meant to do this in temperatures of 20 degrees. And I started applying it outside and left them for 20 minutes before removing the excess with a lint-free cloth. But I quickly learned it was best to do this indoors to stop all the bugs being so attracted to it. And I'd leave that first coat for an hour and then repeat. And I gave them all 3 coats. So thank you so much to Wix for sponsoring these projects. Don't forget I'll leave all the blog post links with cutting lists so you can try them yourself. But I can't wait now to make more things. I've got an idea of making a spaghetti rack, a drying rack that is, a plate drying rack out of dowel, and maybe something else, I just don't know yet. If you've got any tips of what you think I should make, then please comment below. Anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.